Is bigger always better? That's the question I have to ponder because recently I made yet another impulse purchase on Facebook Marketplace. What a smart choice. Now, this thing is so gargantuan it literally won't fit on camera. And it's also so old that I can literally hop into a bar and have all the margaritas it wants. So, why did I get this? Let's find out.
Apple has been making ridiculous displays for a while, and this is no exception. Having a thickness in excess of 1 inch, it is without saying that this thing is not the slim, sexy monitor that Apple claims their monitors to be today. And it was very clear that these monitors are meant for professionals who wanted the best image produced at all costs. And that was rather clear with a $3,300 price tag. But given how I bought this monitor for only $25, how well does it stack up today? Well, I have great news to report. It is both great and terrible. Now, this monitor uses dual-link DVI, and fun fact, this very monitor is the reason why dual-link DVI even exists. You'll also need to hook up USB for this monitor to work, and I'm not entirely sure why. This monitor is also pretty crisp, featuring a resolution of 2560 by 1600, pretty impressive for the time. This is basically the 16 by 10 equivalent of 1440p, so even for modern workflows, this is actually a pretty sharp monitor in terms of resolution. However, after just a few short months of using this monitor, it was showing up some rather quirky signs. Namely, this monitor first had ghosting issues. So as you can see, the Windows 7 flower is still very evident even though the desktop picture displays a gray background. Now, I was told by the seller that this was formerly used at a local college, so I wouldn't be surprised if the students just left this on a static image for long periods over time, which obviously will cause ghosting and other effects. Now, thankfully, ghosting isn't permanent like burn-in is on CRTs. That was bad, but it wasn't great. I mean, it was kind of tolerable, but what isn't tolerable would be the fact that this thing started showing green monsters a few months into its use. Now, this looks like artifacting, and it was sometimes fixable with a reconnection of the DVI cable, but eventually it became so prevalent that I realized that this monitor was not very usable anymore. So it just sat by my bed for a very long time. And I've kind of just acknowledged that it's dead at this point. Yep, rest in peace, monitor. Alright, so this is editing Victor Zhang, and then now that I've scripted the footage, I realized the reason why I actually ditched this monitor was because of those big dark spots. No, it was not the green artifacting, even that was somewhat tolerable in comparison to this. But yeah, those dark splotches were what actually said to me, yeah, this thing is done for. So, what lessons have been learned? Well, first of all, if you plan on buying a monitor of this age, be very wary of the possibility of ghosting, artifacting, things of that nature, because yeah, we saw that happen. And also, if you live in a place where power costs are through the roof, like near those goddamn data centers, this monitor is probably not a very wise choice because of the whopping 150 watt power brick. Yeah, this thing sips, no, it guzzles power. 150 watts is a lot. It's more than your average laptop charger even. Now, it was very fun using this monitor while it lasted because it was a massive upgrade over my 27-inch HP 27ES, which was only 1080p, and when you pair it with 1080p, yeah, that was not very sharp. Also, it had some dead pixels here and there, so that was kind of distracting. Now, would I recommend you buy this monitor? No. Even if it's dirt cheap, the reality is that you're probably gonna get like some ghosting, artifacting, and it's just not gonna be a very pleasant experience. Now, if someone's throwing out on the curb on trash pickup day, maybe it's worth it, but once again, unless you love green monsters paying visits to your screen, it's probably not worth it. Now, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for some more miserable technology applications. However, use this monitor for a few months.